am Dr. Lisa Hobson, and I humbly serve as your Associate Director for the VSU Honors College. I'm ecstatic that we are here today, more than you know. So I have the pleasure of serving as the MC for tonight's event as well. So you gotta put up with me for a little while, okay? Okay. And for everyone watching, not in this room that's on our live stream, we are in Anderson Turner Auditorium in Virginia Hall in Petersburg, Virginia, and we welcome you as well. I want to take a moment to acknowledge some of the key people that made this event possible, and many of them you'll hear from later on today in the program. Today, we are joined by, of course, our VIPs for the evening, our VSU Honors students. And honor students, class of 2026, I want to be the first to congratulate you and officially welcome you into the VSU Honors College. The next 4 years are going to be exciting. I promise it's going to be exciting, and it's going to go by really, really, really fast. And if you ever hear me speak, I always talk about the dash. What are you going to do between the dash? It's 2022 and 2026, and the dash in between it are all your opportunities and resources. What are you going to do between the dash, right? So I want you to take advantage of those many opportunities that will come your way. But today, right now, I see my babies, I'm sorry, I love you guys. Today, right now, I want all of you to take a moment and acknowledge the hard work that you have done to get you where you are right now. I want you to breathe this in, and I want you to be present and understand that you did this. And kudos to you, and kudos to your family for getting you here today. Can we give them a round of applause too? And I know it takes a village, so kudos to your village, many of whom are joining us here in Virginia Hall, and welcome. And some are watching from near or far on our live stream. We have people from California to Missouri and Georgia, Maryland, Virginia, South Carolina, North Carolina. I was looking at the list earlier. California is great. So our parents, guardians, siblings, loved ones, and friends, wherever you are, again, I want to welcome you, and I want to thank you for your continued support and welcome you to witness this induction with all of us here today. Today, we are also joined by many faculty and staff that's dedicated to your success, and we all serve humbly under the leadership of VSU's President Makola Abdullah, Provost Donald Palm, and their leadership team. I know that all of you are just as excited as I am to hear our keynote speaker. I'm so excited. We were speaking earlier at the pre-reception, but I'm looking forward, as I know you are, and I've spoken to many of you for when she comes up, but that's for another time, and someone's going to introduce her. But before we do, we will get a glimpse into what it means to be an active member in the VSU Honors College. This glimpse will be told by your peers through their talents and their narratives of their journey. Being a member of the Honors College can open endless doors and opportunities. In just a few moments, we will soon hear from a few honors students as they share some of the opportunities that they took full advantage of. They're taking advantage of the dash. What will you do with your dash? Later in the program, the Dean of the Honors College, Dr. Dan Roberts, will be joined by members of the Honors Council to officially induct our newest scholars into the VSU Honors College. So, without further ado, I would like to welcome to the front our VSU's very own 14th president of Virginia State University, and my favorite, Dr. Abdullah.
Thank you so much for the introduction. I am so excited to be here. This is one of the most important days that we have on campus. Our most important day, I love to say, is commencement. Commencement is when we celebrate the achievements of what has happened, what you have done, and then what you've completed. The second most important, we actually just had it. It was convocation. Convocation is when we celebrate the future. We celebrate what's going to happen. We open up our year, and we open up our year with brand new freshmen and brand new students. This induction, this honors induction, is a different kind of ceremony. If commencement celebrates the past and convocation celebrates the future, this honors induction celebrates the present. It celebrates the work that you are doing right now, and it honors you for that work. The best way to get to the end is to do it well while you're working on it. And so this as an intermediate step to let you know that, one, we appreciate you, two, you're headed on the right road, and three, you're going to get where you're trying to get to is super important. I'm also honored today that we have our speaker today, Dr. Joyce Payne, Dr. Payne. She will have a formal introduction later, but she is a humble woman. But she has done so much in our community of HBCUs to make sure that young people like you and young people like me had an opportunity to get an education at Virginia State, or in my case, at Howard University. And so I'm honored that she's here to celebrate with us. And of course, today we are blessed to have one of our members of our Board of Visitors here. I don't know, I couldn't hear real good in the back. Did you have him stand up? So I'll make him stand up. Mr. Glenn Sessoms, you please give a round of applause for Mr. Glenn Sessoms. Mr. Sessoms is an alum of Virginia State University, but more importantly, he is a member of the Board of Visitors. You are asking, well, what in the world is the Board of Visitors? Well, the president of Virginia State University, me, I have a boss. There are 15 people who represent the citizens of the Commonwealth of Virginia who volunteer their time to make sure that Virginia State University is the school that it needs to be. And Mr. Sessoms, as an alum, is one of those people. Please give him another round of applause. With that, I wish you a wonderful, wonderful program. And again, congratulations to everyone.
Because he is my favorite president, can we give him another round of applause, please? We are going to follow closely to this agenda that all of you have, and next will be the occasion by Jordan James. I'm going to ask her to come up. On here, you will see Madison Jennings. Unfortunately, she had an unexpected event. She sends her regards. She wishes she would be here, but Jordan is going to represent her well. Thank you. Jordan.
Thank you, Dr. Hobson. Today, I will be presenting to you the occasion. The following poem that I will be reciting was written by our Honors College Student Council President, Deontay Davis, who cannot be here tonight due to a recent car accident, but he is here in spirit and on live stream. To be transparent, these past few weeks have not been kind to me. I've had to force myself to look at my reflection and love who I see. I've had to force myself to let go of people who no longer serve me. Truthfully, honor has been many things. Honor has been not being naive, for evil exists. So there are liars and thieves who aim to deceive. It's in knowing your work and being humble and true. And those who know you will never split good and bad apart. Rather, they'll put them together because they know your heart. They won't judge your canvas, for you are God's work of art. And they won't judge, and to have bright colors spark, you need dark undertones. Praying to God that I be stilled by his might, it's been learning to forgive, especially myself. Learning to deal with the cards you're dealt, it's been protecting my peace and maintaining my health. Again, honor has been me learning to forgive myself. Honor has also been learning to forgive those who come against me. It's been looking at myself and recognizing my bruises, imperfections, and flaws. But in spite of it all, honor has been recognizing that I am still me, that I am beautiful, and that I am honorable. These words from our president should be a reminder that we are all here for a reason. It's a blessing to see all of your faces here today, and you should only be encouraged to keep going. despite all of your challenges and obstacles. Congratulations to all of our honors students, and keep doing well. Thank you.
Thank you. So you can stay up here for me for a moment, but that's there for later. Okay. So now we have two Jordans. We have Jordan James and Jordan Daniels. So we heard from Jordan James, and Madison sends her regards, and now we're going to have the honors experiences in charge to honor students, and I'm going to ask Jordan Daniels and Kaylin Hay to come to the stage. Thank you.
Change will not come if we wait for some other person, or if we wait for some other time. We are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the change that we seek. Barack Obama. Good evening to the class of 26, guests, and the Board of Visitors. I am Jordan Daniels, a senior, social work and sociology double major from Baltimore, Maryland. And I humbly serve as a Mr. 1882 for the 2022-2023 academic school year.
Good evening, and first, all praise to God for bringing us here today. I am Kaylin Hay, a junior, computer engineering and mathematics double major, hailing from the sunny, hot, and beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada. And on campus, I serve as your executive secretary for the Student Government Association, as well as the president for the National Society of Black Engineers and the vice president for the Junior Class Council. It is an honor to be able to speak and be here before you today. My introduction to the honors program was made my freshman year when I came in as an honors presidential and STEM scholar. In my time here, I've been able to grow and develop in many ways. During my freshman year, I had the opportunity to participate on the programming and events chair committee with the honors program, as well as serve as the president of book club, and in my sophomore year, I was able to be a participant in HCAS, which is a good comparison to Jeopardy or Quiz Bowl if you aren't familiar.
My story is a little different from Kaylin's. I was not accepted into the honors program my freshman year, but I didn't let that stop me. And my sophomore year, at the end, I applied and I was admitted. I'm saying this to let y'all know, don't stop. You know, your story doesn't end here. You guys really are just at the beginning of your journey. For me, I've taken advantage of everything the honors program has thrown my way. I am a part of the Crown Hymn program. The Crown Hymn program is an all-men's program in the Honors College that focuses on being a safe haven for students who identify as male students to discuss topics relating to being successful at VSU and in the present chapter of their lives. Through this program, students have a chance to strengthen leadership skills, mentoring, and network opportunities, as well as grow as a young Black man in this community. I've taken advantage of, again, everything the honors program has thrown to me because it's such a beautiful college, it's such a beautiful opportunity, and really you guys are blessed because a lot of students want to be in y'all's shoes, want to be in y'all's seats. Another opportunity that I took advantage of are the two conferences that I will be speaking at. I spoke at the Lynchburg Virginia Collegiate Honors Conference with my Miss Virginia State, and then in Dallas, in November, I will be going to Dallas with Dr. Roberts and Dr. Hobson to be the only presenter in Virginia at the National Collegiate Honors Conference.
The honors program has afforded me numerous opportunities as well in the form of scholarships and being able to participate in the Thurgood Marshall College Fund. Through the work and help of the honors program, I have been awarded over $15,000 in additional aid to help with finances, tuition, and being a student leader on campus. In my work with the Thurgood Marshall College Fund, I have been afforded the experience of having been able to participate in the CIA Immersion Program, which was a 3-day experience in Washington, D.C. last year, where I was able to meet, network, and connect with officials and executives within the CIA to prepare myself for multiple opportunities and internships in the next coming years. I've also been afforded the opportunity to have been a part of multiple ZSC immersion experiences with different companies and sponsors along the way. And most recently, I have been afforded the opportunity to participate in the Leadership Institute that'll take place September 27th through October 2nd. The honors program has afforded me these experiences. They give you opportunities to expand yourself and to grow professionally, personally, and within yourself. I ask you to definitely invest in yourself in the honors program, and to take advantage of every opportunity that you will be afforded.
In the last experience I want to kind of shine light on, I was granted an opportunity to travel to Barcelona, Spain this summer for a month, where I took a student leadership and culture class and basically was learning about the Spanish and Catalonian culture and then integrated that into American culture. And that was fully paid for due to me being in the honors college and taking advantage of all these opportunities. Thank you. Me and Kaylin aren't just here today to just boast about what we've done. We're really here today to tell y'all to be better than us, because our story might just be ending at Virginia State, but we have so many more years ahead of us, and we were in y'all's shoes at one time. And we never really knew that we had the world in our hands till we took advantage of it. This is really your story. Nobody else is going to make it. So I go back to the quote I started off with. Are you going to be the change that you seek? Thank you.
He who has a why can almost bear anyhow. Greetings, I am Makai McKinney, a senior sociology major with a minor in mass communications, hailing from the prominent Prince George's County, Maryland, and I humbly serve. You go ahead, clap. I love y'all. We family. I love it. And I humbly serve as your 32nd Mr. Virginia State University. See, now today has nothing to do about me, but it's literally have everything to do about you. And I have the honor, literally, I'm kind of in tears in my heart right now of introducing this icon, where I'm not even a Trojan if it isn't for this amazing woman. So, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to talk about, just for a brief moment, about Dr. Joyce Payne. Dr. Joyce Payne is a native of Washington, D.C., and relocated to Rocky Mount, North Carolina following her retirement in 1987. She founded the nationally recognized Thurgood Marshall College Fund, which has raised more than $300 million in scholarships and capacity building support for the nation's 47 public historically black colleges and universities. In 2008 and 2009, she served as executive director of the National Alliance for Public Trust, a new organization committed to advancing principled leadership in American institutions. She accepted this position following her retirement as vice president, Office for the Advancement of Public Black Colleges, and the Council of Student Affairs of Association of Public Land Grant Universities. As authority on women issues in relation to higher education and labor force participation, Dr. Payne has published and presented a number of papers on the pursuit of equality for women and for African Americans in higher education. Dr. Payne received a bachelor's degree in speech pathology from the former District of Columbia Teachers College and earned her master's and doctorate degrees in education from the former Atlanta University. In 2018, Governor Cooper appointed her to the North Carolina Council for Women Advisory. She served on the Board of Trustees of the University of the District of Columbia for 9 years and served for 2 years as the chair of the board. Last but not least, that she has also have been fact-finding her missions in many places such as Africa, Asia, South America, Europe, and many more places. But the craziest thing about this is that most of all, which makes it even more personal, is that she has a huge relationship with my grandma where they went to high school together. And I literally remember I called her, my grandma, this morning, and she said, "Makai James, you better introduce this woman right." And I said, "Most definitely." So ladies and gentlemen, please, if you not, I don't even want it just a hand clap. I want everyone to stand up when this person comes. That please give a round of applause for Dr. Joyce Payne.
It is such a pleasure to be here this evening with you. And I must say that I really do need to rewrite my speech. I have met so many phenomenal students today during the reception. They have traveled more than I have. Some students had 4 and 5 internships. One is talking about how he's going to find time to go to Charlotte, North Carolina, to participate in a competition and then turn around and go to New York for our Leadership Institute. So they are busy young people, and I am so impressed. So I'm not sure I can say much of anything to enhance your continued development. I told Dr. Roberts when he asked me to speak that I'm not a TikTok kind of speaker. I'm not going to talk about bumping and grinding. I'm not going to talk about, who's the latest rapper out there, because there are some very serious issues we have to deal with. So I will try to keep this short and sweet. But before I do, I'd love to have the parents in the audience stand, if you don't mind, so that we can recognize them. Thank you so much for being here. In addition to all of the work that Dr. Roberts and his entire team do, and the entire faculty and the president, the parents are the glue. They start the process upon your inception and continue it, and unfortunately continue it even when they leave this university. I would suggest to you that once they graduate, take your keys and make sure they don't return home, because that happens as well. But parents are the glue, and I want to applaud you for all you do on their behalf. It is such a pleasure, Micaiah, for you to introduce me, and your grandmother is also a virtuous woman and has indicated to me that you better do good here, that you have no choice. And so we're very proud to have you in my family and to have your grandmother in our family. Also, equally important, Micaiah is a Thurgood Marshall Scholar, and I think I had a little something to do with that. And so he knows that he's under the spotlight. Let me also thank Dr. Roberts again, who's just doing a great job with all of the students. And he deserves all the applause. And to also thank the president, President Abdullah, joined us in a recent delegation to Israel. And I must say that the entire time he was there, his entire energy was devoted to how can I bring the opportunities that we identified in Israel back to VSU, not only to the students, but also to the faculty. And so I want to thank the president for continuing his support so that we can broaden our international footprint. It's not enough to simply be a scholar. You also have to use that information to see what the rest of the world looks like. And so we think it's extremely important that we continue this international experience. I want to also, of course, thank all of the honors students here. The fact that you have, I think, about 600 students, I must tell you, I have not been on any of the campuses, and we have 47, that have this many students in the honors program. The other very important fact is that you have them housed together so that they can feed off of each other and they can build their portfolios even more by being around those of like minds. And so I would applaud you for that as well. I want to also help you understand that, again, you represent a long and very impressive tradition here. That the rich history of this university dates back to 1883, when VSU opened its doors to 126 students and 7 faculty members. And here we are today with over 4,000 students, I think 5,000 students perhaps, and of course 400 faculty members. I was also impressed with the mission of Virginia State University. It not only says that we want you to be informed citizens, but we also want you to be ethical. And I don't need to tell you why ethics and honesty is so important in this democratic experience today, because we've been fed so much misinformation in the world. And so the fact that we want you to be competitive, smart, intellectual, and responsible in terms of civic engagement, but we also want you to be compassionate and honest and ethical. That's what makes the man, that's what makes the virtuous woman. And so as you continue this journey, I'm sure you will continue to follow the mission of Virginia State. And I would hope that this particular mission would represent the core values of all 47 of our universities, and I'm certainly going to share it. In addition to the rich history of Virginia State University, you need to know that this university was created during the bitter era of Reconstruction politics, established a physical presence in the community in spite of Reconstruction, and created a presence in the community that made a difference, not only for the students, but also for the economic development, for the social and economic development. The university has an impressive track record as well, and many of you already know that Reginald Lewis, a business tycoon, people like Chappie James, the first African-American 4-star general, and also you have Roger Gregory, Chief Circuit Judge of the U.S. Court of Appeals. With students like you, VSU will continue to do a superlative job in preparing the next generation. Today I want to talk for a few minutes about the power of excellence with 2 simple but profound questions that I encourage you to ponder as you move through this educational process. What is your brand of scholarship or your growth plan? How do you intend to use your brand to build your portfolio while helping humankind cope with the social pressing problems that we face today, domestically and globally? As a citizen of this great nation, will you align your knowledge with power, wealth, peace, justice, and human dignity? Will you use it to build on the enduring values of VSU while defining more inspiring goals for the creation of a new world order? Excellence requires that you rethink the pursuit of excellence, that you rethink the assumptions and the values that guide how you think and what you do with your head and your heart. In the pursuit of global stewardship, John Masefield says, "There are no things earthly as beautiful as a university. It is a place where those who hate ignorance may strive to know, where those who perceive truth may strive to make others see. As an intellectually vital community, it is a place where you strive for excellence as a pathway to power and prosperity. Excellence requires discipline, creativity, self-confidence, self-awareness, resilience, and arduous work. And all of the students I met here today fit each one of those categories. It also demands that you become your own great cheerleader. It requires you to connect across disciplines, across geographic boundaries, across cultures and languages, and across the consequential issues of today. It also requires continued learning once you leave the halls of VSU. Excellence requires great depth and breadth to include knowledge of Shakespeare's trilogies and James Baldwin's The Fire Next Time, of Johann Sebastian Bach's Air on the G String, and Drake's Falling Back, on Honestly and Nevermind. Through the lens of the African American diaspora, it demands that you study the Nile to the Niger, from the gold commercial centers of Ghana to the center of culture and art in Benin, from the Maiden Lane and the slave revolt in 1712 in New York, to the artistry of Gwendolyn Brooks, Lorraine Hansberry, A Raisin in the Sun, and Scott Joplin's Tremonisha. Excellence is the foundation of your culture. It is the foundation of your history, of your humanity, as generators of power, upward mobility, and economic prosperity. You must take responsibility for building an academic brand of excellence that reflects the realities of the nation you will inherit over the next quarter century. A nation with more guns than people, diminishing democratic values, a warming climate, and a $13 trillion metaverse. A metaverse world that spans all digital technologies. You must be prepared for the next frontier of science and technology. In the next century, there will be unimaginable advancements in communication to link people all over the world. In your lifetime, there will be new modes of terrestrial transportation. Quantum computing will be powerful enough to connect all of humanity in a small data center, and holograph may replace televisions and cell phones. Even the relationship between the human brain and machines is challenging. Our sense of touch and smell and the makeup of our personal domain. We also must relate our academic journey to the realities of the staggering wealth gap between the Black and white community, with 171,000 being the net worth of a typical white family, in sharp contrast to 17,150 for Black families. This enormous gap in wealth between Black and white households reveals the effects of accumulated inequality in opportunities that can be traced back to the nation's inception. The Black-white gap reflects a society that has failed to balance the playing field in the US and around the world, a playing field that has left 2 billion people who have never made a telephone call, yet alone dialed up AOL or Yahoo, 160 million malnourished children, and 1.3 billion having no access to clean water. Think about Jackson, Mississippi, and Flint, Michigan. More than 60% of the world's population barely surviving on less than $2 a day. nearly 40% of inmates in state and federal prisons being Black Americans, although we represent only 12.4% of the US population. We bail out automakers, banks, major corporations, but this Congress had the nerve to push back on student loan debt of $1.6 trillion and rising for more than 43 million borrowers. We need leaders like you who can challenge the status quo, challenge the Congress, who are registered to vote and will vote. How many of you in the audience are registered to vote? Can I see your hands? And those who did not raise your hands, I'm sure you will register very soon. It is critical that you exercise your civic engagement. We need leaders who will redefine capitalism in ways that transform the politics of power and wealth, and leaders who have a world perspective in fostering equality of opportunity as core values of American democracy. The US is still the engine of the world economy, an undeniable military power, and an even greater political force. As you build your brand of excellence as a pipeline to power and wealth, let me share 10 simple points of guidance as you continue your journey through education. And as I said in the beginning of my presentation, you've already done all of these. You've already done all of them. Set the bar high. Start with a winning brand or plan of growth for achieving excellence in all you do, whether it's on this campus or off the campus, in all you do. Prioritize your growth goals for the long term, not for next semester, but for the next 5 to 10 years. Think globally and explore the world beyond the shores of the US, and many of you have already done that. Think critically, communicate precisely, and become a prolific reader and writer. Remain confident, courageous, and compassionate. Create a healthy competition with one or more of your smartest peers. Actually, surround yourself with peers who are smarter than you are. Share what you learn. It's not enough to simply have the knowledge. It's how you share it and what you do with it. Share the knowledge in building your network of intellects. And turbocharge your strengths and your competitive advantages. Conduct a monthly assessment to determine how well you are mastering your brand, your plan. As honor students, you must be proud of your achievements. I certainly am, and your parents are as well. But you can never, never stop pushing for excellence, for greatness and power, and of course, for prosperity. We want you to get rid of that gap that I referred to earlier. You must also use that knowledge to change your community. We cannot afford the luxury of wasting time. A truly great leader seizes every opportunity, but also understands that knowledge, wealth, and power confer an obligation to improve the quality of life for all humankind. In Race Matters, Cornel West reminds us that the most valuable sources for help, hope, and power consist of ourselves and our common history. The vitality of any public square ultimately depends on how much we care about the quality of our lives together. In closing, more than a century ago, we were warned that no great movement can survive unless it is embodied in the individuals whose lives are the message. As a student, you have been given the time and space to be curious, to explore the world around you, and to build your brand. We want you to be properly equipped to contribute to the national dialogue, to impact policymaking, to enrich the discussion around this American experience of democracy. As future scholars, you definitely have the superior power to embrace the message of excellence and let it rule every aspect of your life. May Mother Earth and Father Sky bless you on this journey. I thank you.
Can we please get one more round of applause for the one and only Dr. Joyce Payne? So, Dr. Joyce Payne, first off, I want to say thank you so much. Your presence alone has impacted us all. And because of that, on behalf of Virginia State University, we would like to token you with a gift just for our appreciation for everything that you've done.
Thank you so much.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I think he wants a picture. Yeah. Oh, slide over. All right, got you.
And next, we will hear from Nia Stevens, one of our VSU Honors students, who again is telling her story, her journey through her talents. Immediately following her, you will hear from the founding dean of the VSU Honors College, Dr. Dan Roberts.
My name is Nia Stevens, and I am a proud part of not only the Honors College, but the Honors Council as well. So hopefully, since you see me on campus and our other lovely members of the Honors Council, please come up to us if you have any questions now that you are being inducted into this college, so that you get to know everything and get to know all of the opportunities that we have for you. And I just want to thank you guys again for being here. I have been allowed so many opportunities through the Honors Council, and one of them is to be able to perform in spaces not only on campus, but at other events, and traveling because of it to perform my poetry. And I have a special piece written tonight for you all to hear. It is called Potential Energy. Magma, flowing, rushing, coursing, under almost oppressive pressure beneath the surface, searching, scanning, scouring, for a slit, for a crack, for a leak to rupture the surface. Fiery skies and flaming rain, uncaring where they spread pain. But I stay as its groundskeeper, getting burned, patching holes, feeling the searing of my souls. But I stay, almost liking the pain, because I know I am the only one who could ever have this place. It is the choice, it is the dance, it's knowing the chance of what could happen, of what might be, if I were to just let it be. It is the awe, it is the power, it is the fear, it is the horror, it is the pain, it is
Wow, you guys having a good night? All right, can we give another round of applause for Nia? As many of you know, I really enjoy honors induction and honors convocation days because it gets us together to celebrate as one large group the excellence that resides here in the Honors College at Virginia State University. We've been so pleased over the years to bring together folks as keynote speakers to us who have really brought something special to us. But as Makai noted, we had an icon with us tonight. Thank you, Dr. Payne. As I'm quick to always say, nothing happens at honors without a team behind it. And so it's really important for me to acknowledge all of those hands who come together to make this something special. It begins from the office with Dr. Hobson, Dr. Donald, who you're going to see in a moment, Miss Jones in the background. These guys make it happen. It happens because of partners we have in residence life with Dr. Peterson, Mr. Crowley, Ms. Brimby. It happens because of the Honors Council, the faculty council who's here and will participate in your induction in a few moments. It happens because of our administration. You saw President Abdullah here speaking to you about honors and what it means to our campus. You'll hear from my boss in a few moments, Provost Palm. It happens because of our deans, our directors, our chairpersons, our faculty across the institution. This is a special place, and it's because of them. Tonight, I want to acknowledge again the parents who are with us, the friends who have come out to support our inducted and continuing students. You guys help us to make greatness come to our students. And now I'd follow Dr. Hobson for a moment and acknowledge the guys who are watching us from live stream. And I know you're around the world. Blaze Davenport is watching us from England. Students are watching us from California. Their families are watching from Texas and Florida and New York. Alums of our program are watching us after their days of work all around the country. They're here to celebrate you guys. I want to make a quick shout out to Deontay Davis, our president of the Student Honors Council. As it was noted, he was in an accident over the weekend. He's doing better and is in good recovery. We're going to see Deontay quickly here on campus again. Could I give a round of applause to Deontay? You know, every time we come together, it's a point of opportunity to recognize what we're doing in honors at Virginia State University. I noted this to the president the other day. This is the 7th record and largest class of honor students who has come to our institution in the last 10 years. We have been on a growth trajectory for some time, and you guys, the class of 2026, just propel us forward like no, you cannot believe. I'm so excited to have you with us. Our Honors College now is more than 600 members. We are a very, very strong and vital part of our campus. Never, ever think that you're alone on campus. Because, look around you. You've got a lot of folks looking after you. You know, the program on the final pages, I really hope that you particularly freshmen, spend some time looking at those 3 pages of students who completed internships, research placements, fellowships, study abroad programs. There's more than 100 names listed in that program of students, your peers, VSU Honors College students who did amazing things this past summer. And there are quite a number more who are just a little bit shy to have their names added to our program. Reach out to those folks. Say, how did you get that internship? How did you get connected to that fellowship opportunity? How did you do that study abroad program, Jordan Daniels? How did that happen? How can I make that happen for me? Because I want to do that next year, and I want to do something else the next summer, and something else the next summer after that. That is you. How? There's a list of 31 names in the back of the program attending Thurgood Marshall College Fund at the end of this month. 31 VSU Trojans. go into Leadership Institute. I hope and I believe that we are the largest institution represented amongst the 47 public institutions. Yeah. That's all of you. That's all of you. And it will happen next year because of all of you. Our expectation, our role is to facilitate that. Yours is to step up and take advantage of those opportunities. And that's what I'm looking forward to seeing. I love this work, and I love what you guys bring to it. You know, the end of the semester always gives us an opportunity to think about how did our students do. You know me, I'm about academic excellence. It's really important to recognize where it comes from. And it comes from you, your dedication, your perseverance, your resiliency in all those classes. Some of them were really hard in the spring. But again, despite everything happening, you guys showed up and showed out. So if I could, for a moment, I would ask all those students who earned a perfect 4.0 GPA in the spring semester of 2022, please stand. Please remain standing. Please remain standing. And if I could, I would ask those of you who earned the 3.5 and above to also please stand with us. Please join us. Yeah, this is what academic excellence looks like at Virginia State. Thank you, guys. Please be seated. We come to the main part of our program, and this is about recognizing the new men and women who are joining our program, the honors class of 2026. And it gives me great pleasure to bring to the stage my good colleague, the Faculty Associate Director of the Honors College, Dr. Aurelia Nicholas Donald, who will help us conduct the honors induction for you guys. Dr. Donald.
Good evening. I'd also like to ask the other members of the Honors Council to please join me. Joining me on stage is Dr. Isis Walton, Dr. Diane Becker, and Dr. Ngwe. In the audience, we have one more member of the Honors Council who will stand. Now, the ritual. The ritual of induction includes a consideration of the basic purpose of the VSU Honors Program. Our honors program is built upon and reflects the high ideals of scholarship, loyalty, and service. The program is designed to provide a nurturing, living, and learning community. You will now learn the standards that you must maintain and to keep your membership in the honors program. The first of these standards is scholarship.
Scholarship is the most important qualification for membership in the honors program. This reflects the intellectual purpose of high education, but a high grade point average alone does not demonstrate true scholarship. The mastery of information and specialized knowledge are lifelong pursuits. Yet, the true scholar never loses contact with the world beyond the walls of the library or the classroom. Through a balanced integration of experiences, the scholar advances in both knowledge and wisdom.
The second of the standards is loyalty. You must maintain loyalty, which is an intellectual appreciation of the pursuit of truth and knowledge and a commitment to these ideals on the intellectual, social, and moral levels. This means developing a sense of responsibility to truth and justice. It might mean occasionally going against the grain of our society and embracing unpopular positions. It will always mean a deep commitment to promoting the public good and the well-being of its citizens.
The third of the standards that defines the VSU Honors Program is service, which is an integral part of the philosophy of collegiate honors education. Knowledge should not exist in vacuum. It should build up and enable the world around us. This is why a distinguished academic record is necessary, but not sufficient alone. As you mature in honors, there must be a dimension of service to others. As a student, this is demonstrated by giving freely of your time and energy to the campus as well as to the community. As an honor student at VSU, we want you to be active, participating citizen, and after you graduate from the university, as well as while you are here as a student. In the word of Reverend Martin Luther King, I quote, "Everyone is great because everyone can serve." Thank you.
The three ideals of the VSU Honors Program, scholarship, loyalty, and service, have now all been presented. We encourage you to band together and to encourage each other to understand, to appreciate, and to promote these ideals of collegiate honors education. In achieving these objectives, the methods you utilize will vary. They will require you to respond with creativity and always with a sense of purpose. Honor scholars translate their ideals into action in service of the university and our broader communities. In all of these situations, the judgment and actions of honors program students will be conditioned by the ideals of scholarship, loyalty, and service, to which they have committed themselves. Today's newly inducted honor scholars will be expected to join those who are already members as they commit their imagination and energy to address the needs and concerns of the world around us. At this time, I would ask that all students seeking induction into the VSU Honors College please stand. We will now recite the Honors Program Pledge. Please repeat after me. Okay. As a member of the Honors College, I promise to do everything in my power to carry out the ideals of scholarship, loyalty, and service. I will be committed to intellectual integrity and the pursuit of wisdom. I will be loyal to the moral and social ideals of my collegiate honors education. I will remain committed to the well-being of others and active in serving them. I will do all this in light of a genuine concern for the greater honor and glory of mankind. President Abdullah, Provost Palm, Dr. Roberts, and members of the Honors Council, having heard the new honors college members recite the pledge, I present to you the inductees for fall 2022.
At this time, I would please be seated. At this time, I'm going to invite my boss to the stage, who's going to help us come together to conclusion. My boss, our Executive Vice President and Provost, Dr. Donald Palm. Dr. Palm.
Thank you, Dr. Roberts. And again, congratulations to the new inductees. Dan, come on inside. I asked Dr. Roberts not to go anywhere. I think you heard, of course, Dr. Hobson mentioned that Dr. Roberts is the inaugural dean of the Honors College. And let's give him a round of applause. I think about 60 years ago when I first got here, I met Dr. Roberts, and one of my goals was to make sure that this honors program at the time was truly an exceptional experience for our students, and also to provide opportunities for our students to develop and to move on to bigger and greater things. And that was my intention, but it was already happening because of Dr. Roberts. I can just tell you that moving the honors program to an honors college is not only symbolic, but it's impactful. To have Dan sit at the table with the rest of my deans and be at meetings with some of the other administrators is showing with the work that you're doing, Dr. Roberts. I often tease Dr. Roberts. Now he's very persistent, so for those students and honor students, make sure that you emulate Dr. Roberts because he gets things done. But he comes and sees me about once or twice a week, and it's usually at the end of the day, and usually I have a bad moment throughout that day, but he's always talking about you. He brings me such great news with regards to the things that you are doing. All the accolades that our students are having, I already know about it because Dan tells me about it all the time. And again, so I just want to say, we talk about greater happens here, where there's proof that it's happening here, but there's a reason that it happens here. And the reason I want to say, Dr. Roberts and your team, Dr. Hobson, Dr. Donaldson, all of you all that make an impact with the honors program, Honors College, it's because of the special sauce right there. And let's give them a round of applause because you're going to be the largest college here next year. I'm just, because of all the individuals that we have here. But again, Dan, you can have a seat. But I just wanted to let you know how much I appreciate the work that you are doing, Dan. But also, I just want to also talk about the why greater happens here. And I see some of my deans out in the audience. Can all my deans stand up? The deans of the colleges. I see the dean of agriculture, the dean of humanities and social science, the dean of regional affiliate college of business, the dean of engineering and technology. It's because of the work that they are doing. And so make sure that you know who your deans are. Also, and again, I should back up here because I have my supervisor's boss here, of course, Visitor Sessom. Again, would you please stand and be recognized, Visitor Sessom? It starts with the leadership. We want to thank you as well. And again, I just want to name these individuals from the Honors Council because, again, they help mold and help direct and many different things, and they serve many hats. They're taking the students out of town and taking them around the world. Dr. Diane Becker, again, it's good seeing you. It's been a minute. Just give her a round of applause. Dr. Donald, Dr. Lisa Hobson, Dr. Halton, as I know in the back, Dr. Jane, she's not here, Dr. Chiang, Dr. Inouye, Dr. Roberts, Dr. Felicia Turner, Dr. Uzuchukwu, Dr. Walton, and Mr. Jonathan Young. And let's give them a round of applause for the work that they're doing. Now, it's not only the honors program for what and why greater happens here, but there's also proof that greater is happening here. And you all are the proof. Some of the testimony that we have heard this evening from our students and their experiences, it's proof that greater is happening here. They did not have those experiences before they arrived at Virginia State University. And because of that, when they leave Virginia State University, they are going to be better off for opportunities that they are going to have when they leave Virginia State University. So they are, when you're talking about going to Spain for a whole month, you have been transformed. As soon as you hit foreign land, you have been transformed. And we want more of those experiences. So one of the things that Dan does for me is he asks me for more money. And so I didn't get a chance to introduce my CFO and Vice President of Finance, Mr. Kevin Davenport. Will he please stand up? So I say yes because Mr. Davenport says yes. And so, again, we're able to build the honors program. But again, I just want to say that as a charge to you all as inductees of the honors program, I want to say membership has its privileges. Membership has its privileges. You were identified 3 principles: scholarship, loyalty, and service. I would ask that you honor those 3 principles, continue to excel in what you do and what you want to do, and make sure that you give back to Virginia State University. I want you to stay with those privileges. Remember, everybody hears about membership have privileges. Well, your privileges are the opportunities that Virginia State University is providing to you. In addition, it's simple. Continue to strive for excellence. Continue to strive for excellence. One of the things that Dr. Roberts in this honors programs does that I really, really appreciate, you can enter into Virginia State University as an honors student, but you can get here after your first year and come into the honors program as well, honors college as well. And I appreciate that because it also shows that hard work pays off. So I leave you with the fact that stay loyal to those 3 principles: scholarship, loyalty, and service. And just remember, as you walk around, hold your chest out high, and just remember, membership has its privileges. Thank you.
Again, welcome to the VSU Honors College, and that will conclude our presentation and ceremony today. Thank you.